All right, thanks, Robert. Coming up here on Sunrise, do you want to avoid that fake tummy ache on the first day of school because your kid's a little nervous to start again?
Well, we got some tips on how to get over it. Also for your parents out there, a little bit of anxiety as well. And teachers, I'm sure, are also a little nervous about this. We will talk to Gonzales live in studio in just a few minutes.
But first, a look at this. Welcome back. The first day of school is quickly approaching, and that means excitement for parents and students, but also some anxiety for both. There's a lot to get prepared for. Local clinical psychologist Dr. Gonzales is with us this morning to tell us some tips on preparing your child. Good morning, Corey. Good to see you.
Good morning, Maddie. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for joining us. I know a lot of students are like, oh my gosh, not next week already, but it is here. But you got to get prepared, even if you're dreading it starting again. So what do you suggest they do this week?
Well, I think parents need to help the child transition in this process. It can be stressful. And by, starting to adjust their sleep cycle a little bit, helping them to get their supplies, their backpacks, or iPads or whatever. Also look at their schedule with them. And if they're going to a new school, perhaps going to the school with them, walking around. If they have a locker, look at their locker and so forth. For the younger kids, very important when you go to the school, preschool or kindergarten, to not give your kid too much anxiety about separating. It could be traumatic if a parent is not okay about it. So keep your own stuff in check as well. But be positive, optimistic. Talk about goals, academic, activities, sports, and so forth. Try to really encourage this because change is inevitable. And we want to teach them resiliency.
Okay, so once they go, make sure you help them connect to something that's going to help them make friends if it's a new school. And then also routine. That's going to be a brand new routine. They've been used to staying up later, getting up later. So do you start that now? Yeah,
start it earlier so it's not such a rough transition for them. And even talk about a time and a place to study where they're not going to be distracted is also a good idea. But preparing meals, getting up earlier, all that routine is really important. It'll help them transition.
And like you were saying, anxiety. So what if they're nervous to go to school? What do you tell them?
Well, the important thing about anxiety is you have to realize that people with anxiety tend to look at change as something that's threatening or dangerous. In reality, it's not. It can be exciting. So parents, keep your own anxiety in check about this stuff. They have to have the resilience to overcome change because change is inevitable in life. And really, if you want to hurt a kid's self-esteem, avoidance really can hurt them and cause more phobias. What builds self-esteem is when they overcome those fears, and that's really important for parents to remember as well.
And finally, this is a huge topic in schools, whether or not your child's dealt with it personally, but bullying, what do you tell them just in case they come in contact with this?
Well, it's important for parents to respond but don't react, and also talk to them, address their fears, talk to them about it, role play with them, come up with some strategies, how to talk, when to talk. Don't talk in groups, things get more anonymous. One-on-one is always best. How to diffuse things with humor. Is really important as well, and how to resolve conflicts without aggression and violence. But, it's really important, Maddie, for parents to spend a little more time with their kids the first week of school, having that dinner together to help them transition.
And you'll know then any concerns they have.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Gonzales, thank you so much for being in this morning. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Maddie.
Always. All right, let's send it back to Kiyoshi.
Some good tips. All right, thank you.